It's time again to talk about another book. Have you ever been trying to forgive someone and you felt like you were arguing with a brick wall, but that brick wall was actually yourself? And the pain of the situation just kept slapping you in the face? I know I have, and I'm sure you have at least at some point in your life. And that is the power of this book. So I grabbed this book. It's by Lysa TerKeurst, and it's Forgiving What You Can't Forget. She's got some really great books out there. This one is really profound and very helpful if you're struggling with forgiveness. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick a couple of things out of the book that stood out to me and share them with you. And maybe that'll pique your interest and you'll want to grab a copy of this book and read it for yourself. So let's start by naming the elephant in the room. Now, forgiveness sounds like a simplistic thing, but it's really hard to forgive someone or something from something that's real blood and guts, betrayal or loss. I mean, we're talking real hard things, and forgiveness maybe sounds like a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. But Lysa writes this. She says, forgiveness is not the same as forgetting, and it's definitely not the same as excusing. And I think that's really important to remember when we're talking about forgiveness. The hurt still counts. It still matters. But when we're talking about forgiveness, it's about refusing to let the hurt or the pain to drive the car anymore. We want to be free from that. And Lysa really has a lot of experience with this. Now, her husband's betrayal, it hit the news. It was a big news item, and so it was a big betrayal, and it was very painful. And she really walked through a lot in the process of writing this book. And why is this important? Because credibility matters. And when we're talking about such a deeply personal topic as forgiveness, we really want to know that the person that we're reading about or the person who's giving us advice isn't just getting this advice from a Pinterest board and everything's pretty. No, this is a person who's walked through the battle themselves and has the battle wounds and the battle scars to show for it. This book's backbone is stupid simple. So decision first, emotions later. Now, she walks you through this process of forgiveness. It's really, really easy to follow. But one of the things she does is she tells you to write down on a piece of paper the person's name, and you're supposed to write, I forgive their name for this because I don't want to stay chained. And that's really critical in the specificity, because specificity is really important when we're talking about forgiveness. And number 2 is emotional honesty. Now, Lysa gives you permission to rage on paper. She's a really big supporter of journaling. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get a journal and you're supposed to write everything, all your thoughts. Rage on paper, I think, is a great way to describe this. Now, if you skip this step, and you don't get those things out on paper where it's a safe place to get them out, then forgiveness stays theoretical and you keep those things bottled up. I love this quote from the book. It says, I can't always see what's inside my heart, but I can listen to what spills out. Writing in a journal is a safe place to spill out all those negative thoughts. And the third thing from the book is that forgiveness is a gift to me. And forgiveness isn't a gift for the offender. It's me collecting on a gift to myself, and it's the gift of peace. Because when we forgive and we get rid of those things that are weighing us down, that's when we have peace. And Lysa says this, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. Is that a little cliche? Yeah. But is it true? Absolutely. I've gone through some pretty tough things in life, and you probably have too. One of the things that I've learned is that unforgiveness steals all my peace. Now, does forgiving what you can't forget work if you are in the thick of things and you're really hurting? Yes, it works. Lysa gives you a very biblically based and easy to follow practical plan to walk through the forgiveness. I love this quote from the book. It says, "What we look for is what we will see. What we see determines our perspective, and our perspective becomes our reality." So be careful what you look for. And Martin Luther King says this, "I have held many things in my hands, and I have lost them all. But whatever I have placed in God's hands, that I still possess." Forgiveness is a series of choices to hand over your hurts to God and find peace. The ability to see beautiful again is what I want for you and for me. Forgiveness is the weapon. Our choices moving forward are the battlefield. Those who cooperate most fully with forgiveness are those who dance most freely in the beauty of redemption. I know this may sound like a simplistic answer to a complex issue, but really, forgiveness is how you're going to find peace. And if you are struggling with something today, go down into the description and follow that link and get a copy and start reading Forgiving What You Can't Forget today. Don't just read this book like a tourist. Read it like an athlete. Lysa gives you practical exercises to do, and it's up to you to do them and apply them. And just like physical exercise, when we physically exercise, it hurts. We can end up with sore muscles, but the end result is a positive thing. Some days you may hate it, but freedom tastes way better than revenge fantasies ever will. So grab a pen and your brutal honesty and forgive like your peace depends on it, because it does. Thanks for watching.